Welcome everybody to another video with your friend, guild leader and all-round superhero, R.J.S. Today I thought we'd take a look through and see all of the kind of things that you need to know to try and get yourself up to speed and running with all of the complexities that Gems brings to you. So the first thing is to look at kingdoms. As you can see here, I have unlocked all of the kingdoms. Which is probably your first task to concentrate on spending gold on. The more kingdoms you open, the more chances of tribute you get, which will give you extra glory, souls, and gold keys, which is always a useful and extra addition to what's going on. The next thing is obviously to complete all of your quest progress in Broken Spire, which should be your first kingdom that you have opened. Access the tutorial for the game, so it shows you all of the real basics of how to play. And at the end of it, you will get your Luther card, which is your first epic or purple card, which will be quite useful to help you take on the rest of the kingdom challenges, etc., as you're going on. But don't worry too much, it's not the most super amazing card in the game, and you'll probably quite quickly replace it once you start opening up glory chests and gem chests and start picking up those legendary and hopefully mythic troops later on. You can do challenges at any point. This is a way of sort of farming outside, so they're just kind of, it's basically like redoing the quest maps, but you can choose to do it at different difficulties and get up to the master level, giving you better rewards. Explore is your farming, so when people talk about farming, you can come to a specific kingdom's explore and just rerun at all the different difficulties, which will increase your XP and gold and souls rewards as you go through, but really you're farming them for the trait stones, which are used to unlock the different abilities. Well, not abilities, sorry, the different buffs that your troops can get as they go along. Really, Explore is kind of your bog standard gameplay. So you know when you're trying to level a card, you're going to be doing Explore specifically to try and unlock trait stones. We'll take a look at where they get from and how you know which kingdoms to go to for them. The last thing about kingdoms is leveling them. So you can add gold to your kingdom to level them up. This will increase the percentage that you will get extra tributes from them. It will increase your gem mastery, which will increase the likelihood of you getting a mana surge of that particular colour. And at level 10 you will get a skill bonus. Now if you check the note in guild chat, it will tell you what the 4 or 5 kingdoms are to get up to level 10 first, and those are the ones that offer you a +1 of your magic. The magic is the thing that determines how much damage your cards can do potentially, or how much healing they can do, or how much armor they'll add. It's basically what will increase the purple number that you see on the skills for a troop. If you check the income tab, it will show you how much gold you could have per day from this kingdom and how much you're getting in general. You can only have one home kingdom, and usually the best one to have is whichever one you have the most power in. And we'll love to take a look at that as well. Here's the tribute. This is showing you what you will get from this kingdom as a tribute. Okay. You get double the amount if you set it as your home. So you want to find one that's going to give you what you want, really. Probably souls and glory is what you're looking for rather than gold. Power. A bit like your daily tasks, these are just things that you can do. So collect 4 Broken Spire troops, level 4 Broken Spire troops to level 5, and then basically there will be a set of tasks about upgrading those troops. And as you do an complete all of those tasks, you will increase the level. The level then increase what you get as tribute rewards, etc. So really, when you unlock to level 2, these will go up, and then it will make it more sense to have this as your home kingdom because you'll be getting more from it. And the lore will tell you just some rough idea about what things you can find within that particular kingdom. So once you've completed all of that quest line and started unlocking these bits and pieces, what are the next things you can do? Well, quite a lot, obviously, as you're all finding out. PvP is always a nice, easy place to start. All it's going to do is present you with 3 different enemies, of which you can attack either the easiest one, the sort of middle one, or the hardest one. This is the rough power level of the deck itself, so to give you an idea about whether you think you can take it or not. You can play in ranked or casual. Ranked gives you sort of better rewards, you get more rewards as going on, but you can just play casually, which doesn't affect whether you go up or down in your rankings, just to play against other people's decks and stuff and farm bits and pieces. You can check your stats on seeing how well you've done over, what your favourite troop is, what kingdoms you most attack, battle log of what's happening, when you've won, when you've lost, when you've been attacked. You can see how well your defense team is, which is the team that you've got up here. I think it's the last team that you use off the top of my head. Somebody might be able to tell me that that's different. But basically, you want to be taking on ranked whenever you can, and going for something between one of the first 2 is usually pretty good. As you can see, you get quite a large amount more in your PvP level points for doing the middle one, and there's often not necessarily a massive difference between these 2, especially at your starting levels. Games, well, everybody talks about treasure hunt, so I won't go into it too much, but you spend treasure maps, which you can pick up as rewards from completing various levels, sometimes as bonuses from bits and pieces. You can have troops, which will increase the ability to generate treasure maps, but this is a good way of farming gold, because that's the main reward that you get from this, is lots of gold, some souls, maybe some diamonds if you can get it up high enough. Occasionally they will do events, and I think there was one on at the moment, I'm not sure if it's still going, where by completing the maps you get event points, and the event points let you get certain rewards, such as, again, souls, diamonds, etc. Arena is a completely different mode where basically you will get to choose one of 3 cards 3 times. So you will always start off with a common, uncommon or rare, and then an ultra rare, and then you add in your own weapon after that. Create a team basically on the fly, so it doesn't necessarily, you might not even have these cards yourself. You can then basically put together a deck based on what you can see. I'm just doing this very quickly just to try and kind of get to the end and show you what's going on. So you can do this. You've then got to build up your team. You can change your weapon by clicking on the weapon tab over here, which will show you all the available weapons. So you might want to look around in here and go, okay, I've got no brown cards. So if I apply the brown filter on it, I can see which one of these I might like to use. What's going to be the best one? Well, obviously my skeleton key is going to be my best one for this one. And build your team, and then basically you don't have a choice of banners in this one, but build your team and then go to battle. If you can win all 8 battles, you get a better reward. You get 2 deaths, basically. If you lose 2 times, you will end your run, and you can retire your run at any time. This is a nice way of playing. It lets you get used to thinking about all the different effects that cards have, let you learn them. It only costs 1,000 gems to do, and you get a reasonable reward even if you only get 1 or 2 wins before you lose. So a great way of spending time early on in the game and just learning how it goes. Gnome vaults come from defeating a specific enemy which randomly appears in certain battles. So you won't see this one very often, but I believe it works on a very similar way to the treasure hunt. Again, completing it gives you lots of rewards. Dungeons you open from, I can't remember which kingdom it is. I will try and put that in the note afterwards. I think it might possibly... No, can't remember off the top of my head. But dungeon basically is a set of 3 bosses that you can then fight in any order you particularly want. And the rewards are jewels. The jewels are used in the Soulforge, which you unlock from, I want to say, Blighted Lands. It might not be. I think it is Blighted Lands. So you do Blighted Lands and Drifting Drifting Sands together open up, I think, Dungeon and Soulforge. The Soulforge lets you then use those gems to summon trait stones, weapons, and as you unlock it, summoning stones to summon troops as well. You'll notice that you can level up using gems, or I think I'm not sure if it's like every day or something like that, but if you come back in, you'll find that this will be free, and then you can level it up to level 10, which allows you the chance to get mythic troops and weapons. But as you can see, you can create gems, you can then create trait stones, you can create troops potentially if you've got the relevant things, weapons again, you can see, and other. You can create some of these ingots which you can use to upgrade your weapon or souls, and even pet food if you're leveling a pet. Not the most important thing for you to be doing. Soulforge is quite expensive, but if you're very desperate for a specific trait stone or a specific card, or you happen to have a lot of something left over, it's a way of using up some of your resource. Bounty we've all seen and played, I think, recently, but as you can see, it's just a leveling system, getting the points. Points mean prizes. You can collect your rewards. It's a good one to play whenever you come up. Quite a fairly simple game mode. Again, I think it does colour restriction, is generally how it works. So you'll be restricted to one specific colour or colours on your troops. Pet rescue, we see this come up on the things, so you kind of know about this one. You just have to fight the battles and try and get as far as you can, and hope you unlock the pets. Class events, so these have popped up a couple of times. I think the last one we had was Rune something, Rune Maker, Rune Mage, something like that. These are always great to do because A, unlocks the class nice and quickly through the chest line, the quest line, sorry, and then you can get XP and lots of extra bits and pieces for playing it and leveling the class as you go, which gives you a nice boost into it, especially if it's a new class. And faction events are related to delves, so you have to get to the delve in the underworld first, I believe, before you can actually do these. But again, it allows you to do the delves of those kingdoms, but without necessarily having to have done all the quest lines. It can give you much better rewards. So again, absolutely, as soon as these are up, definitely be doing them. Let's take a quick look at troops and creating teams. So I have a blank team here, and I can create the team based on a collection of troops and one weapon. To be very quick about building a team, sensible thing to do is go to your filter and change your order to rarity and save it, and that will show you the cards in order of what level you've got. So light blue is mythic, orange is legendary, purple is epic, blue is ultra rare, green is rare, and white is common. Obviously, depending on the rarity, the better the card, probably the better the skills, and the better the traits. The important thing in building teams is not to try and overburden yourself with one particular mana colour, which may be a bit counterintuitive to other games that you've played. But really what you're trying to do is make sure that whenever you make a match, you're filling one card all of the time. Or at worst, that if something is shared, so if I say use my Sunna first and put her in here,
amazing.
I can choose to say add Bunny Nog in second. Now they both share purple, so Sunna will always get purple mana first. But basically that just means this, you can think of this troop as being brown only, because it will only get the purple when this is fully stocked up of mana. So you can build a team and balance it. So again, I could do this the other way around really. I could drop this down here and say this will get purple and brown. I can think of Sunna as only having red and green and purple only when this one is full. So build your team around those bits and pieces, and obviously the different abilities that they have. You also have the ability to add a weapon, and again, worth sorting these by rarity as well. The thing about a weapon is it uses your hero instead of a troop. and your hero's bonuses are based on lots of different things, but the most important thing that you can have is a class assigned to it, and put souls into leveling that class, because that will give you big boosts to your base stats. And we'll take a quick look at classes just before the end of this video. But once we've added in our troops, let's just do this just for the sake of it. I can then look at my banners, and you won't unlock these by unlocking the kingdoms. And then I want to look at what manners I'm mostly using here. So I could look at this team and say it's mostly brown and mostly yellow. So I want to find something that's going to boost both of those. So the desert banner might be the one that I choose here. What these banners are going to do is increase your ability to increase the chances of getting that mana surge. So it's not increasing the drop rate of these necessarily, but it means that you'll get more mana when you make matches of these two colours compared to the others. If you check under bonuses, what this will do is tell you whether you're getting any specific bonuses for the cards that are in your hand here. So I'm getting +4 from kingdoms because I've unlocked those particular kingdoms to give me +10, or there will be some specific bonus this week because I'm using cards from a particular kingdom. So you can see Sunna is from Bright Forest, Artemra is from Divinian Fields. So if any of those kingdoms are getting a bonus by having cards in my deck from that kingdom, I'm getting an extra bonus from them. Pets, as you've seen come up, most of these offer a small bonus based on colour or card type, just to choose the one that matches, something in here. So if you've got one that boosts brown, that would be a good one to have attached to this team. So just to finish off, let's take a quick look at classes. So go into your thing up, your profile up here, and then click on class. Now I've chosen the thief class because it's fitted in well, and it also gives a particularly good weapon once you've won 250 fights under that. Plus, I think when I started, I had some very good purple cards, so I wanted the extra gem mastery from being a thief. As you saw, the skeleton key, an excellent one, boosted by gold, and gold is very easy to boost, especially once you look at the talent tree. And the talent tree unlocks as you gain XP, not this level here. So you have a talent level and a sort of class level. And your class level you increase using orbs in the same way that you would level a troop. So it's worthwhile putting putting souls, even into the leveling of the class or classes that you like to play as, because they will give you big boosts to your hero, and your hero is what you use when you're using a weapon. Under the talent tree, you get a choice of 3 different types of buff, depending on the level that you've gotten to based on XP. So here I can gain 8 life to my hero at the start of a battle. I can give any card that has purple as a mana 2 life, and I can Hunter's Mark a random enemy on 4 or 5 of a kind. Again, I'm choosing 8 armor to try and keep my hero nice and protected and put him in first place. Gain magic if I'm using a dagger. Skeleton key is a dagger, so that kind of makes sense. Gain 5 gold every turn. Well, we know that skeleton key works off of gold gained, so I want to have that. Create a dark storm at the start of the battle, and that gives me purple mana. And that's not actually the most important thing to me, but it was certainly, I don't use centaurs, and I don't particularly think that this is a great skill, this 50% chance to summon a bandit. Yes, it fills a slot if something dies, but still, the 50% chance wasn't much compared to this, which gave me purple gems, and Sunna uses purple, which is one of my most important cards. And again, got a choice of here, stealthy. Goblin's an interesting one here because by being thief, my hero counts as a goblin, so I could give myself 2 attack extra here. And yellow alloys gain 2. Again, if I'm using lots of yellow alloys, I might want to think about using this. You can also add traits in exactly the same way that you can with your cards, and certainly some of these are definitely worth doing. So again, more bonus gold. Start my mana with 50% brown mana, or 50% mana of whatever my weapon is. So it's brown for skeleton key. So I start off with 7 out of 14, and when eventually you can do these, 7 damage to the last minion every time you match 4 or 5. Again, quite overpowered if you can get that far. So that, I think, takes you through all of the basics about what you can be doing, what you should be doing, opening up chests whenever you've got the chance to, always checking in your mail to see what rewards you've got, going into the build, playing your guild games, making sure to get those seals, add to the tasks as and when you can, and just keep on playing and leveling up, getting all of the cards, upgrading them, and just having a good fun time whilst you do. So I hope that's been really helpful to you guys, and we'll do another video soon, I'm sure.